Thank you for joining us. I'm Brad Clonch.
And I'm Quin Tran.
If you're a parent, you've been in this tough spot before.
Your child has a cold, runs a slight fever, perhaps has an ear infection.
You and your child have to call in sick, but the challenge? Having enough sick days to use during the year.
The Chickasaw Nation has a solution to help its employees, the Ada community, and most importantly, children.
Come on, Sissy, let's go.
On a Monday morning, moms and dads take their children to daycare.
It's pretty outside today, isn't it?
On this day, 2-year-old Sydney is heading somewhere else.
She's running a little fever, which probably means she's going to end up with an ear infection. So she really doesn't feel that bad, but DHS guidelines say that she cannot be in a child care center that is for well children only.
Instead, she'll stay in the sick child care center while mom goes to work. The Chickasaw Nation opened the facility in 2008, an extension of its child development program.
Parents just don't have the available time to leave their jobs for every mild illness that their child may have. We're the only facility for sick children in Oklahoma.
It's a facility that is available to employees of the Chickasaw Nation and other working parents in the Ada community.
Okay, say Ochamali. Yeah, that's blue too.
The Chickasaw Nation, employing more than 10,000 people, saw a need for educational programs focused on the care and wellness of children. There's a shortage of child care facilities in the area. To help its employees attract and retain a good workforce, the tribe opened a state-of-the-art child development center.
Can somebody tell me this letter here?
It houses Head Start programs and features a separate facility for the care of children with mild illnesses. It's a blessing for working parents like Becky Anatubby.
It can be challenging to find a place for her to be and us still be able to go to work. It's helped us so much. A place where we know the kids will be nurtured and loved and well taken care of when they don't feel good.
A licensed practical nurse is on staff at all times.
The Sick Child Care Center is licensed for about 35 children with mild illnesses.
Well, the winter months are a peak time for cold and flu season. It's important to get that flu shot.
And something else important to know, if it's your child's first time to get the vaccine, they'll need a second dose about a month later.
Well, it's because of the immune system of children, and it's a little more immature. It takes a little more antigen exposure to elicit the antibody and immune response that you want to get. It's the same reason we give boosters for all or most of the vaccines, is they just have to get repeated exposure until their body produces the antibodies and the protection that we need in a high enough level to protect them against the illness.
Keep in mind that the flu vaccine is not approved for children younger than 6 months old. The best way to protect infants at that age is to make sure their family members and their caregivers are vaccinated. The CDC says that this year's vaccine includes protection for 2 influenza viruses and protection against the H1N1 virus.
January and February have been designated awareness months for preventing vision loss among Americans.
National Glaucoma Awareness Month is observed in January. Here's why. More than 2 million Americans suffer from that eye disease. Half of them don't even know it because there are no symptoms.
That's why it's so critical to get an eye exam every year. A change in health, even pregnancy, can trigger a change in vision. Take a look.
There's small details everywhere.
Kathy Shoto takes pride in every sketch she makes.
The details and everything that you kind of take for granted, when you can't see them, you don't know they're there.
At one time, this was what Kathy saw. Her artwork was just a blur.
It's kind of like a cloud in there, and it just gets cloudier and cloudier and cloudier. If I were to drive or be riding in a car, I really couldn't see anything until it went by me. You know, even large semi-trucks. Yeah, it was kind of spooky, and especially when I had young children at home.
Kathy says the pregnancy of her 3rd child triggered gestational diabetes. With her 4th baby, she noticed she had trouble seeing. It progressively got worse. She became blind in one eye.
Okay, so
Dr. John Garber diagnosed her problem.
He's a godsend.
Kathy had premature cataracts.
You wonder if it does get worse, what do you do? You know, I knew with Dr. Garber's help, I knew that there was help out there.
The Chickasaw Nation's Eye Clinic, along with the tribe's vocational rehabilitation department, worked to help Kathy restore her vision.
In 30 years, anything I've ever asked for that assists me in providing better patient care, the tribe has given to me. I know that when I make the diagnosis of the disease, that I also know I'm going to get the medicine for the disease.
For Kathy, the treatment she needed was laser cataract surgery. The result, she could see her youngest child's face clearly for the first time.
After the surgery, it was very enlightening. I mean, you don't realize how bright the world is after you haven't seen it in a while. It's like he had freckles that I'd never seen. Yeah, there's a lot of things that I was missing out on that I couldn't see.
This Chickasaw artist could also see her potential. After her vision was restored, Kathy illustrated a children's book and has had her work on display.
I try to draw at least every day. It gives me a great satisfaction knowing that I can do it. The Lord gave that back to me, and I feel like I need to do something with it. My artwork does that.
It certainly does. Her artwork is full of details. Kathy hopes her story will inspire others to take care of their eyes, never take their vision for granted.
We have another story of inspiration, a Chickasaw woman. She was a single mother who worked hard, earned her degree, and is now a healthcare CEO.
Here's more on Millie Blackman, the 2010 Chickasaw Nation's Dynamic Woman of the Year.
Well, you always want to, go back to your roots and know where you came from and be able to celebrate that heritage. My grandfather, Abe Ned, was an original enrollee with the Chickasaw Nation. During my grandfather's time, they weren't allowed to express their Indian heritage. They were asked not to speak their language, wanted them to be more involved with the non-native customs and ways. And so it's different now, looking at all the history, and my kids are growing up with that. They're really embracing their Chickasaw heritage now. I was a single parent raising two children, a son and daughter. Was able to go back to school after 17 years of being out of school. Definitely appreciate the fact that the Chickasaw Nation was there and was able to help me pursue my education and get a degree. And today I'm the CEO for the Wewoka Indian Health Center in Wewoka, Oklahoma, and I'm also acting as the acting CEO at Clinton Service Unit, which is in the western part of Oklahoma. I enjoy the job because we are providing health care to not only Chickasaws, but all Native Americans that are eligible for our services. Servant leadership is important to me. It's allowing me to provide or to assist in providing care to Native Americans that otherwise will not be able to get the care that they need. And we want to do it in the best fashion that we can. We want to make sure that they know that they're welcome to at our facilities, that if they come there, they're going to be treated with respect and dignity. Every elder, every pregnant woman, every child that comes in is going to get the care they need.
Our 2010 Chickasaw Nation Dynamic Woman of the Year is Miss Millie Blackman.
I was very surprised when I received the news that I'd been selected as the 2010 Chickasaw Nation Dynamic Woman of the Year.
She was nominated by her daughter, and it is a loving tribute to you.
My daughter submitted an essay. In her eyes, I guess I am very dynamic. I get a little teary when I think about it. It makes me realize that she didn't let it go unnoticed. The sacrifices and the hard work that it took to raise her and my son, and go to school, and provide a good home for them, and give them the opportunities too to go on and further their career and their education. you know, it can inspire other Chickasaw women and young women starting out in their careers that there are possibilities that you can attain high status in healthcare, in business, whatever direction that you want to go. I'm extremely proud of being Chickasaw. I was able to give back, and I really appreciate the fact that I can do that.
What makes the honor wonderful is the fact that her daughter nominated her for the recognition.
That does make it extra special and meaningful. Well, that's all the time we have on this edition of CNTV.
Thanks so much for joining us. We'll see you again soon.